Weather. This is Skycast.
The heatwave continues across southeastern parts of the country. Here's a look at the maximum temperatures we've reached today. 36 degrees in Adelaide, which was your forecast top, also exceeding the forecast top of 38 degrees, hitting 39 in Canberra. Temperatures above 40 degrees for a large area across central and also eastern interior. Now, this is what the mercury is looking at right now. So Adelaide, the temperature has dipped down from that peak to 32 degrees. Still warm for you in Canberra, 38, or hot, I should say. And that 39 degrees you saw is 11 above your January average. Sydney, a beautiful 26 degrees, definitely a great day to head to the beach if you so wish. Now, a closer look at some of the temperatures we're seeing across central parts of New South Wales and also northern parts of Victoria. The mercury remaining above 40 degrees around the Wagga Wagga area, Cobar, Swan Hill. It's all absolutely sweltering as we head even further west. 41 for you right now at Renmark, 39 at Port Augusta. So very, very hot conditions we are seeing as the hot air is being pushed down towards southeastern parts of the country by northerly winds. Now, things are looking a little bit cooler on the other side of the trough, so mild conditions around southern parts of Victoria. And as we look further ahead, you can see the pink shading is cooler than the red, which is in the 20s, high 20s, the 30s and the 40 degrees. So that heat is going to rebuild as we look further ahead to Monday, but not really cooling off if you took note of the colours and the temperatures we were seeing overnight. So a warm night ahead for many people in this area. Let's take a look at some of the wind gusts and directions we're seeing across this heat wave region, because we do have several fires burning across areas in New South Wales as we speak this afternoon, with firefighters trying to contain those fires. The highest level we've got at the moment is a watch and act. It's something we're keeping a close eye on here at Sky News Weather. So gusts of 33 kilometres per hour at Deniliquin, that's the latest we have seen there, but not too intense elsewhere. 26 kilometres per hour at Wagga Wagga, looking more mild, more tame, the winds down in Victoria, so just 11 kilometres per hour in Bendigo. Now, with these winds and also the heat we're experiencing, as well as low humidity, we are seeing elevated fire dangers across Victoria, South Australia and also New South Wales. Now, with severe fire danger, which is represented by the orange on our fire danger map here, we also have total fire bans. So in New South Wales, these bands, I should say, are across the central ranges, the northwestern and the greater Hunter, and also the southern ranges. Very high fire danger is indicated by the yellow. So we do have large regions of very high fire danger as well. The Mallee in Victoria is also in severe, as are the northwest pastorals and also the Flinders regions in South Australia. And we have just seen the Flinders region and the northwest pastorals, as well as areas across New South Wales, including the Greater Sydney area and the Greater Hunter, declared in total fire ban, severe fire danger for Monday. That's something we'll be taking a look at in our bush report a little later here on Sky News Weather. As we take a look at our forecast isobars, you can see a few different things happening across the country right now. And one of the major ones is this monsoon trough throughout the top end, and we do have a low pressure system developing within the trough. The trough is delivering quite heavy falls. You can see it represented with this huge band of cloud around the top end of the country as we look through Sunday. You can also see the band of cloud actually along the northeast tropical coast of Queensland. We are seeing some showers along there as well. We've seen some decent falls too. But we do have a severe weather warning in place throughout the top end, so the East Carpentaria and also coastal areas of the Arnhem, because of this monsoon trough, which is seeing an absolute dumping of rain. And you can just see on the radar, it is relentless right throughout the day on Sunday. We've seen decent falls overnight to 9 a.m. today, so Bing Bong picking up 209 millimetres and Centre Island picking up 167 millimetres in the 24 hours to 9 a.m. But it's still falling predominant and really in this area. So Centre Island has picked up a further nearly 47 millimetres of rain since 9 a.m. today. And as we head further east, you can see some of the falls we're getting as a result of showers around this area, Cairns and Cooktown, but they were heaviest overnight. So in 24 hours to 9 a.m, we did see about 170 millimetres falling between these 2 points, Cooktown and Cairns, about 74 millimetres in Cooktown in the 24 hours to 9 a.m. As we take a look at what we can expect in this region over the coming days, more heavy falls. And the severe weather warning I mentioned is for heavy falls that could result in flash flooding. Hardly surprising when you take a look at those really intense falls you can see represented by the red and the black here on our forecast rain as we look ahead to Sunday and Monday as well. Now, the low pressure system within the trough that is going to form is going to shift further east over the coming days, so we are going to see that rainfall also shift further east, as too will the flooding threat. So do stay with us here on Sky News Weather. We'll be taking a look at those updated bushfire danger forecasts for tomorrow very shortly. We'll also have a look at the rain report with a look at some of the falls we've been seeing during the week, and we'll have our new forecast for all of our capital cities coming up very shortly. Another sweltering day on the way for the southeast of the country as heatwave conditions continue in parts of New South Wales, South Australia, Victoria, and also southwestern Queensland as well. Let's take a closer look at Queensland now, and you are seeing some quite heavy falls around far north Queensland as the monsoon trough dips into northern parts of the country. This is what Townsville was looking like on Sunday with some cloud about. Onshore winds are delivering showers pretty much north of Fraser Island up the tropical coast of Queensland. Now that includes you in Townsville on Monday, where you're heading for a top of 30 degrees. We have seen some decent falls off around the Cooktown area, 74 millimetres of rain in the 24 hours to 9 a.m. And we did see nearly 170 millimetres of rain between Cairns and Cooktown in that same 24-hour period. Now, it's going to be hot to very hot throughout Queensland during the day on Monday. Long range going for 40 degrees. Looking pleasant in the southeast. That includes Brisbane and also the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast going for 30 degrees. Down in New South Wales, and there is the chance of showers and thunderstorms developing in the southeast during the day. Looking very hot throughout central and also some coastal parts of the state. Heatwave conditions continue for you in Western Sydney and also in Canberra. 37 is your forecast top. You exceeded that during the day on Sunday, reaching 37.6 degrees by 2 p.m. Now, it is still looking very hot in western parts of the state, and we are going to see elevated fire dangers across New South Wales during the day on Monday, with some areas in total fire bans and severe fire danger. Elevated fire dangers also on the way for some parts of Victoria during the day on Monday. A beautiful light display in the sky there at Kilmore Gap, just north of Melbourne on Sunday. Now, we are seeing a cooling trend along southern parts of the Victoria coast. That includes places like Melbourne, where you're heading for 25 degrees on Monday. We will see some showers and thunderstorms easing in the morning in the east of the state and remaining hot in the north, heading for 37 degrees for you in Mildura. A warm day on the way across Tasmania. We will see some showers along the west coast and also in the south, contracting to the southwest during the day, and some showers developing in the east during the afternoon as well. That includes you in Swansea, going for 27 in Swansea and 28 for you in Hobart. Another very hot day on the way for the pastorals in South Australia. Looking beautiful on the Murray River on Sunday. Absolutely glorious view there. And we do see some people getting out to enjoy the water. Now, it'll be a milder day in southern parts of the state on Monday. 29 your forecast top. In Adelaide, still warm for you in Renmark with the chance of a shower, 35 degrees, and there is the chance of a shower and thunderstorm north of the Cooper Pedy area as well. Showers and thunderstorms possible throughout the interior, particularly the central and southern inland of Western Australia during the day on Monday. Hot to very hot throughout. A sunny day on the way for you in Perth, though, going for 33 degrees. Heavy falls around the top end with the monsoon trough moving into northern parts of Australia, so we are seeing some significant falls, potential flash flooding as well. Showers pretty much north of Tennant Creek, but remaining mostly sunny and dry in the south and hot. 42 your forecast top in Alice Springs. Over to the North Island of New Zealand, and things were looking beautiful at Akito Beach on Sunday. We do have showers across the North Island, however, on Monday, going for 25 degrees for you in Auckland. We do also have showers along the west coast of the South Island, 26 and partly cloudy for you in Christchurch. It's been a hot and dry week throughout central and southern parts of the country, but we have seen some decent falls along the path of ex-tropical cyclone Joyce, extending pretty much from the top end, the Pilbara and the Kimberley, all the way down to southwestern parts of Western Australia. Falls of 100 millimetres or more. In fact, in Perth, you have seen your third wettest January on record. Now, as we look at what we can expect, we do have the monsoon trough just dipping into the top end, delivering some quite heavy falls, in excess of 200 millimetres falling in the 24 hours to 9 a.m. Sunday at Bing Bong, and we did see more than 160 millimetres falling over that same period at Centre Island, with the falls continuing as that monsoon trough sees a tropical low start to develop in it and start to move west as well. So we are likely to see some quite heavy falls around that region right throughout the week, extending through to Friday and also next Saturday. And you can see the path of those heavy falls extending further west across the top end, remaining mostly warm and dry elsewhere. There is the chance of some falls starting to develop around southern parts of Victoria as we do see some cool changes move through later in the week.
There's something interesting there, going back through this forecast. I just noticed something. The photo that they showed was taken at Kilmore Gap. And Kilmore, I mentioned that's just north of Melbourne. That's actually where the fire, one of the worst fires, started on Black Saturday. And that's that photo there. So Black Saturday was the 7th of February 2009, and the boy who I've talked about in quite a few of my videos, Nathan Breeze, was one of the victims of those fires. He was 13 years old and he died at Kinglake West, and he died with his mum, his older sister, his younger sister, a friend of the family, plus there were 4 other people in that house, which was the house next door to where they lived. And strangely enough, there were 9 people who died at number 9 on Pine Ridge Road. So that was the fire, the Kilmore fire, as they called it. And it was the fire that started from the power lines arcing out, because the power lines there was something wrong with the power lines. And when the winds got up and the temperatures got up to like mid-40s, something failed on the power line, arced out, and sparks started the fire. So that was the fire that burnt in a burned at an incredible pace, because the winds were over 100 kilometres an hour, temperature in the mid-40s, low humidity, just catastrophic bushfire conditions. It's weird because they got the text message telling them, to evacuate at 1 p.m. So they tried to evacuate. They started down a road. I'm talking about Nathan and his family. They got, and his mum's name was Tina Wilson. So they got down the road a bit and couldn't get out on that road. The road was closed or whatever. So they came back and they tried another road and they couldn't get out. And it's really horrible because they spent hours trying to evacuate, and then they were told by a young rural firefighter, well, probably the best place to be is in your home. That's where you're probably going to be the safest. And that's 99.99% of the time that's true, because most people who die in bushfires die trying to get away in their car. Cars don't offer much protection compared to a house. But unfortunately, where they lived was right where the worst of the firestorm hit, after the wind change. And it was after the wind change that the fire just became this massive firestorm, a mega fire. And the worst of it hit right where they lived. And so they died. And I've connected Nathan to Jacob, and I've talked about all that in my videos. There's 3 dates coming up that I think something might be going to happen on those dates. And they are Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, the 23rd of January. Then the anniversary of Black Saturday, which this year falls on, I forget which day of the week it falls on, but it's the anniversary of Black Saturday is the 7th of February. So it's not far away, and it will be 9 years this year since Black Saturday. And I think something's going to happen on that day. I'm not sure what it is. Not necessarily bushfires. It might be something completely different. But there's going to be something on that date. So something on Tuesday the 23rd, then something on the 7th of February. And then the other date that I'm flagging is Friday the 9th of March. And I think something more significant is going to happen on that date. So they're the 3 dates that I'm flagging, and this is not meteorology, this is like something else. Voodoo, as one of the kids that I talked to about my calculations asked me, is this voodoo? I said, yeah, I guess you'd call it that. It's not science, put it that way. But they're the 3 dates where I think something's going to happen. And yeah, Nathan, and if I'm right about something happening, and I think on the 9th of March it could be a cyclone, and if it is a cyclone I think it could be Riley. I think Riley should be the 10th cyclone of the year, and the one after that should be Savannah. And I think that's going to be around the 9th of March. Riley, Savannah. And yeah, if that does happen, then I would have to give credit to Jacob and Nathan for that being right. Because I'm getting some sort of inklings from them, some vibes, whatever. And yeah, that's what I think it is. But it's often not what I think. It's often something else. So I have also had volcanoes in my mind recently. I thought there was going to be another eruption at Mount Agung. Then instead there's a volcano going off in Papua New Guinea. And then I hear there's one going off in the Philippines, or threatening to. So it's all like, all this different stuff happening. Well, it's not going to be a hurricane, because it's not hurricane season in America, so we can cross that one off. It's not really typhoon season now either. It is tropical cyclone season in Australia. It's definitely bushfire season. You can get severe thunderstorms and all that sort of stuff at any time. And other than that, yeah, they're the dates. 23rd of January, which is 2 days, in 2 days from today, because today is Sunday the 21st of January. So in 2 days it'll be, and I might just, while I'm here, I might just look up what is the 9th or the 7th of February this year. What day is it? What day of the week is it? I will tell you in a second. I am having a quick look. I need a calendar. Give me a calendar. Okay, I need a calendar for 2018. I have one. It is Wednesday. Wednesday the 7th of February. I was going to say Thursday or Tuesday, so I'm glad I didn't. It's Wednesday. The 7th of February 2018 is the anniversary of Black Saturday. And of course the other bad day in not too distant memory as far as bushfires go is Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday is also very close to them. It's in February, but it's the 16th. And strangely enough, I'm looking at the calendar now, and I see that the 16th of February is a Friday this year. So this is kind of odd because, and this is something I have not noticed until just now, making this video as I'm speaking. So it's Wednesday the 7th, and then 9 days later it's Friday the 16th of February. And of course the other big bad date in history is Black Friday. That was Friday the 13th of January 1939. Well, the 13th of January is gone this year. But, interestingly, Friday the 16th is 9 days after Wednesday the 7th. Wednesday the 7th will be 9 years since Black Saturday, which was Saturday the 7th of February 2009. And like I was saying, Nathan was one of 9 people who died at number 9 Pine Ridge Road in Kinglake West. And I don't believe in fate, I don't believe in destiny, I don't believe in that things are ordained to happen by God or any of that stuff. What I do believe is there is like a invisible fabric over, like reality works by cause and effect. The world we live in is cause and effect. And it's random. Things happen randomly and it's cause and effect. So like global warming, climate change, I accept the science behind all that because I understand it. It does work. The science is real and it does explain why the earth is getting hotter and why the danger of bushfires is getting greater. And it's not just it's not just that you're likely to have bushfires more often, you're also likely to have mega fires more often, fires that are far more dangerous. And that's why I've got no time for people like climate change deniers like Donald Trump, Peter Dutton, and all those idiots. I've got no time for them at all. And people that support them in 2018, I think have got rocks in their head, personally. I would like to see no repeat of Black Saturday. I would like to see no repeat of 173 people dying in a bushfire. And I would like to see people sort of aware that they have to be really mindful. I mean, it's pretty scary when you think about it. Nathan and Amy, and Tina, that whole family, they really went out of their way to try and get away. They did everything to try and evacuate from Kinglake West. They couldn't. And they ended up trapped. And that should never happen to anyone. Never. So that's the point I'm making, is the danger is increasing, and the worst thing about climate change denial isn't all the political stuff, it's the fact that people can actually die. You know, like, it's not an issue that should be politicised, and I think it's really, the way it has been politicised by a lot of politicians has really put me off politics, to be honest. It's put me off both sides of politics. And because I just think that constantly they're obsessed with winning elections, and that the safety of civilians and the safety of the people is definitely not their main focus or their main priority. And certainly the happiness and well-being of civilians and people is definitely nowhere near their main priority. I know that firsthand. So yeah, Nathan and Jake, angel boys, I think they are. And I think there's something in what they've told me, which is Tuesday, 23rd of January, 2 days from today. And then Wednesday, 7th of February, the 9th anniversary of Black Saturday. And then Friday, the 9th of March, 2018. I think those 3 dates, there's going to be something on each day. And on the 9th of March, I think it might be Riley. Actually, that's interesting, because Riley is the R name in the alphabet. And R is 9 times 2. Yeah, I can see it. I can see something in this. I can see a... And like I was saying, I don't believe in fate, I don't believe in destiny, but I do believe in 3 things that operate outside the laws of science. And they are meaningful coincidence or synchronicity, music. I think music has a power that resonates in a way that can intersect with synchronicity, actually. That can't really be scientifically explained. Music can certainly be mathematically, it is mathematical, yet there's something in music that I think connects with synchronicity and goes outside the laws of science. And dreams. They're the 3 things. And I did have a dream going back to the 12th of May 2012, which, yeah, I'll show you something. The 12th of May 2012, I had a dream where I saw a message. Have faith, Josh 10, 9:45. So I'm just going to tear it off. And I was waking up from a dream and I saw this message as I was waking up. Couldn't remember the dream, but I could remember the message. And so I wrote it down. And that's a long time ago, 2012. I mean, that's a fair while ago. So, if we go 4 years into the future, from that date, we land on another date. And the date that we land on 4 years in the future is Thursday the 12th of May 2016. Now 2016, the number 2016 is interesting because it's actually 666 times 3 plus 6 times 3 is 2016. And if you go to Thursday, the 12th of May 2016, and start a countdown of days, to get up to Friday the 9th of March, which is when I think there's going to be Cyclone Riley, like I'm saying, then it is, 666 days. Thor's Day, the god of lightning and thunder in Greek mythology. Thursday, 12th of May, 2016, plus 666 days equals Friday, 9th of March, 2018. Red Rain, Red Boy, Riley. Yeah. So that's from Jake. And then this could come into it. The time, 9:45, might be something. 10, well, Riley could be the 10th storm, the 10th cyclone this season. And I made another prediction for Jose, which I was saying Jose. Got into a lot of trouble for mispronouncing that name. Jose is Jose, but it's the J storm, and it became a hurricane on the 6th of September, and that was the 15th birthday of the boy who reminded me of Jake Wetterling, and who also told me that Wetterling actually means weather child. So that's pretty interesting, that his birthday coincided with a hurricane which I made a prediction for, and I said Jose would make landfall at 9:45 p.m. on his birthday. But it actually didn't make landfall at all, even though it lasted for 22 days, and 16 days as a named tropical storm or hurricane, and yet it never made landfall anywhere. So it was almost like Jose made fun of me by not making landfall, but being a very, very long-lasting tropical storm and hurricane. It dodged everything, stayed out to sea the whole time. It went a long distance, but never hit land. So that was kind of interesting. And Jose was the 10th storm of the season, and in the same way, Riley will be the number 10 storm of our season, unless another cyclone is named by Indonesia or someone else that moves into our waters. Because we have had one extra one already this year, and that was Dahlia, the first one. It was named by Indonesia, and that was at the same time that Mount Agung was erupting, and that was on the 29th of November, I think, around there, 28th of November, and it lasted until about the 4th of December, which is when the Big Thomas fire started in Southern California, along with all the other fires, which had led to the natural disaster there. So yeah, there's definitely something going on. There's something going on. There's something in this. But it may not be what I've said. It's often something different. But then again, every now and then, I get it right. Anyway, if I do get it right, it's only because Nathan and Jake have helped me work it out, given me the right clues. As they do, it's hard because they can only tell me stuff in cryptic ways, and they're also pranksters. So that makes it doubly hard to know what they're talking about and what they, what it means. Because A, it's cryptic, and B, both of them are pranksters, practical jokers, and sometimes they do like to, have a bit of a joke. So don't take this too seriously.